and free rape. That's the way that it went. I stand here in front of everybody today as a rape victim, trying to put my message out there. No child is safe. If you want to wrap yourself up in a bubble and pretend this doesn't happen, you're wrong.
Can anyone tell me if you can hear the sound, please?
Children all over England are being raped and abused. The government don't want you to know this. The media don't want you to know it. Why? That's the question we've got to ask ourselves. Why? I know why. We've got
Thank you, I restarted it.
MPs in Parliament, and guess what? I'm telling everybody here, they're all under the sex register, but they can be MPs. If you serve a 12-month sentence in prison, you cannot be an MP. But yet, if you're an IRA terrorist, you can be an MP, because under the Good Friday Peace Agreement, they let the terrorists come into Parliament.
Shame on them.
Tommy Robson
Shame on them.
can't be an MP because he served over 12 months. But guess what? Times are changing. We're the truth tellers. Tracy's a truth teller. We all are. And we want the public to stand up and listen to what we're saying. We need the public to know the truth. The government don't want to know the truth. They're not going to tell you the truth. The police aren't going to tell you the truth. Nobody, the media, don't want to even report nothing. So whenever you look at the bigger picture, if you want to sit in a bubble and get your door knocked one night to tell you that your son or your daughter has been abused, remember, we already told you so. I've got people around me. I do my live blogs. I do everything. Me and Bobby, it says it there, we waive our anonymity to be able to tell the truth. And we will tell the truth. I wouldn't wish any child in
Please
this
share,
country
everyone, so
to be
the
raped and
people of this
abused.
nation can hear Joseph and Bobby.
Like me
They're
and my
tragic.
brother did.
Go on, Bob. Go on, Joseph. Go on, Joseph. You're doing well. Go on, Joseph. Go on, Joseph.
But we're here to tell the truth.
Yeah, that's
And
it.
we want the public to know that the government won't, the corrupt government
No,
won't black us out.
no, absolutely. All us, Joseph. All
We will
us.
tell it as it is and explain it as it is. I stand here as a man that was raped and abused, and my twin brother who was raped and abused. Our abuse case was one of the worst cases that ever came out of Ireland. Me and Bobby have lived in England for 40 years because we turned the back on our country.
Thank you, Lisa.
And came here just to have solace away from it all. So this is our country, and we stand together to fight against child abuse. Child abuse doesn't have nothing. It doesn't belong in our society. No child should be raped or abused in our society.
Absolutely, absolutely. Get on the streets, hundreds of you,
Thank you,
because
everybody.
it's happening still. Get on the streets for the children. They are being murdered. They are being abused by our very own establishment, as well as grooming gangs.
Abuse in this country. And child abuse in this country is getting on a league that nobody used. People,
Thank you, Debbie.
All news walking past here today, I've got no idea of the scale of the abuse that's going on in this country. And as you all walk past, do your shopping or do
have your nice day out with your kids and stuff like that. You know, I hope and pray that all these walking past right now never, ever, ever have to suffer or endure what any family has to suffer when they're told that their children are being abused. Do you know what I mean? It's
Absolutely, Tina. Brave, brave men.
We won the biggest inquiry in Europe. The biggest
Unlike us,
inquiry
they
in
come
Europe.
out to tell the
Something
British
that we
public
thought that we'd never ever
to
win.
get it stopped.
And every single one of us,
To get
the
it stopped.
535 of us that came forward to tell the truth, won our case. Unfortunately, 60 victims didn't get to live to see their justice because they committed suicide or died. And what do you know, it's difficult to stand here as a man saying that I was raped, and everybody that wants to walk past have got no idea how difficult that is for a man to stand here and say that he was raped. Do you know? But you know something? As difficult as it is, I will say it, that the day I die, I will still stand here. We want to do these every single month, and we've said that because nothing's going on in Birmingham. I will stand here every month and tell people in the same place or a different place exactly how it is.
We're behind you, mate. We're behind you.
Children
This is our
all over
establishment.
England are being raped, groomed by Pakistani Muslims, and if you think that this is going to go away, it's not, because unless people like us stand up here and say it how it is, and I will say it how it is, I'm not a racist. I'm not a racist in any way, shape or form. I want Muslims to stand right next to me, right beside me, supporting what we do. I don't want to cause a divide in this country. That's not what it's about. It's not about race or religion. It's about protecting every single child in this country.
It's about the
and I will
truth.
stand here and say until I take my last breath, I will stand here. Our children need protected. During the First World War, the Second World War, we fought battles to make this country what it is. To make.
You have to stand closer. That's it. That's it.
During the First World War and Second World War, our grandfathers and our great-great-grandfathers fought to make this country what it is. They put their lives on the line.
Absolutely,
Women
Scott. Brave men.
and men put their lives on
Brave
the line
men.
to make this country exactly what it is
These
today.
are victims fighting back
But look with the way
to
it's going
protect
today.
people's
The
children.
government, why aren't the government, why isn't any member of Parliament standing right here with me now going, we want to sort this out. You never hear, it's never debated in government. What's going on with children? We're getting children raped in every town.
That's what we've
city,
said, Alison.
all around
This
this
is where
country.
this is going. What happened to
nothing's
Joseph and
happening.
Bobby and Blair happened in
Why?
Northern Ireland.
Like Joe just tipped on earlier, you've got 160
In children's
members
homes.
of Parliament on the
It's happening in our
sex
very own
offenders
establishment every
register.
day. We are known
That's
as
ridiculous. And
paedophile
that's not-
city
that's
outside
not
the
just-
UK.
That is a fact.
That's what we're known as.
160 members of Parliament in Parliament on the sex offenders register. But if you do 12 months in jail for any other offence, you cannot be a member of Parliament. So people need to ask themselves, what's going on with this government? This government, in this town alone, in Birmingham city centre, the police force from 2010, the police force in this in Birmingham have been cut by 52%. Look what this government is doing to the armed forces. They're being cut. And you've got to ask yourself, we've got assholes in Parliament that don't give a toss about the common people that are walking around here right now. If the Falklands War kicked off tomorrow, we couldn't even defend the Falklands like we did in 1982. So what's the government's agenda? What's the government's agenda? They don't care about the common people. All they care about is whatever we're going to earn.
What their agenda is.
The Conservative conference up here last week, or a couple of weeks back. You want to see this place? Armed police running around all over the place. It cost this city £2 million just to have these up here. But you want to see up here? Barriers, everything, no expense spared, because all them were being protected in that building there. And when all that's finished, they carry on as normal. Look at the House of Commons. You couldn't get any more security around the House of Commons because none of them want mowed down as they're walking to work. But look what happens up here. As soon as the security finishes, it's gone. But this isn't about that. And I'm sorry, I keep hitting on about that, because you look at people like that, you're thinking, they're different than us. They don't care about our kids and our children, and they don't. They've proved that over and over again. Children are being abused in this country on a scale. Look at the media are doing.
The whole
media
nation
don't want
needs
you
to
know.
hear these
That's why there's a total
true
blackout on
life,
the media.
horrific
Anybody
stories.
wants to talk about child abuse, where's the media? Is the
They
BBC
do it all
here
the time,
today?
Karen,
Is
even
Sky
when
here
when
today?
we're on the
No,
streets,
because they
we
don't
get
wanna
ignored.
know. Our children are being abused on a scale that people walking up and down this street don't even know. And the reason they don't know is because the media aren't reporting the scale of the abuse. Because if the media had the backbone to report what was going on, every single person, every single family where women and kids would be in uproar. There'd be thousands on this street right here, right now with me, supporting what I'm saying. And this is the why you've got the total media blackout on the abuse that's going on in this country. It's sickening. It's absolutely sickening.
We're all with you on
Because
that, Cara.
when me and Joe did our story, that was the Irish Sun that covered our story. I rung the English Sun about 20 or 30 times to cover our story. Wouldn't do it. When Rolf Harris was getting done,
Thank you,
when Jimmy
Mandy.
Savile was getting done,
The media is a
the
massive
media
part
were all
of
over
the
them
problem.
courts.
Robbie,
You had
they're
about 100
pure evil.
reporters outside
They're
each court
assisting in the
because it was a
abuse
star, it was
and
something
demise
like that.
of all
But
of us,
when it's
of our
innocent
children.
getting abused,
They wouldn't report
where's
the
media?
truth in our story.
Where's the media? They should be reporting this in every single town and city in this country. What's happening with children, and the media, total blackout, don't want to know, because obviously come from a higher place. We don't want the public to know the scale that children are being abused in this country.
It's a shame you can't drag them back to make them to listen,
We never
James.
had a penny for doing this. Not one single penny. 'Cause we didn't
So
want
much
to.
of society have lost their empathy and
When I was being
compassion.
abused, I had mental health problems. We went to court, and Birmingham Crown Court found Birmingham mental health neglect, guilty of neglect of care. I could have sued Birmingham mental health. It's not about the money. It never has. Never had a penny from Birmingham mental health because didn't sue them. All I wanted was the right
Should
help.
be thousands.
But you look what Theresa May's doing today. She's cut mental health to the core. And all these people that are coming forward that have been abused, all the kids that's coming forward today that have been abused, are going to end up like me and him is today. I've got PTSD. I suffer from anxiety and depression. and I can't get the help that I need.
Share
And Theresa
people,
May
because
is just-
Facebook
there's more children
are messing
being
with our
abused,
feeds,
and Theresa May is cut mental
messing
health
where the
in
shares are
Birmingham.
going.
Ridiculous. You know, it's absolutely ridiculous. You know,
When I first did it, I had no sound. I don't know if anyone's
We're
commenting.
being
I can't see any more
controlled by
comments.
the government. We're being controlled by the establishment, who are all fucking pedos. Sorry about the language. Right? There's 160 MPs on a sex register. That's why when it comes to children, they're not gonna voice that opinion in the House of Commons. They're not gonna do that in the House of Lords, because that's what they're into. That's what they get off on. Right? They get off on innocent children.
Thank you, Tina.
Right? Whether it's 2 minutes, whether it's 3 minutes, or 5 minutes, that child is left with scars that will never ever go away. And we've
Yeah,
witnessed
no,
to that.
Liz. I had no sound
Our
for
scars
some
will
reason.
never go away.
Thanks, Facebook.
We were raped whenever we were 12 years
Facebook
of
are
age.
stopping some of the shares.
We were abused, gang raped.
Facebook are
multiple
complicit in
times.
all of this as well.
It says it there. Don't take our word for it. Google it. You'll see it all there. Go to the HIA inquiry website and look on historical abuse. You will see it there. Yeah? We're stood here today, and don't get me wrong, I see kids walking past us. Yeah? We're here to protect our kids. We're here because we live in Great Britain. We've got our laws that we live by. Yeah? If you're a nonce, you should do at least fucking 15 to 20 years in prison and get your balls cut off.
Absolutely.
Yeah? On the fucking rest. But what we have now, we've got people coming into our fucking country. Yeah? Sorry for swearing. We've got people coming into the country that want to marry a 9-year-old, that think that it's okay to have sex with a 9 or a 12 or a 13-year-old because they don't give a care. We care. We've got our
Tina, can you
laws in
message
this
me tomorrow and
country
remind me, please?
that governs us. But they think it's okay. That's why rape and child grooming in this country is so bad, because we've got immigrants coming into the country that think that it's okay to rape innocent children. It's not okay. It's not okay. We've got our laws that we live by. They don't want their laws. They
Gillian,
want their own
Facebook
laws.
reduce when it comes to
Is the government
truth
gonna let
tellers
them?
telling their
Most
stories,
fucking
things like
probably.
this, like
So-
our boys. They reduce the comments, they
This is what
reduce
we're
the amount of
talking
people
about.
who see the
We're
shares.
talking about our children. We're talking about our children's children. If we don't stand up and fight for what we're doing now, what legacy are we going to leave our children? Are we going to feel our children and let them down? Where it's openly abuse if you go into a park? No. That's not what me and him fought for. That's not what we're all fighting for. We're fighting to make that difference. We don't want that in our land. We don't want nothing that's to do with child abuse in this land. We're not sitting here talking about whether you're white, whether you're black, whether you're yellow, green, or whatever. If you're a pedo, you will get exposed. It's not about divide on religion. It's not about who you are or what you are. Abuse of children has got no right in our society.
They don't
And we will
want the
always
country
fight
to
that.
know what's going on. Same as why the mainstream media
I
don't
never give
report
up
on it,
my
Liz.
anonymity. Neither did Bobby. To sit back and let children be abused. We know what that does to you. We live every single day of our lives with our memories We can't run away and hide a corner.
Keep going, mate.
Go on, Joseph. Go on, Joseph. Go on.
And pretend it never happened, because it did.
We're all with you, mate. We're all with you.
People don't know and realise the mental scars that's left on children because of pedos. We do. That's why I'm stood here today, because I want to talk about it. We want the public to know what it's like to be abused as children. We feel the children's pain. We understand the children's pain. We are going to be the voice for the children in this country that's being abused.
Go on, Joseph. Go on. You're doing brilliant. We're all with you.
No child deserves to suffer the pain in their lives that we did. No child deserves not to have a future, not to have an aim in their life, not to be successful in their life. We get robbed of that as children, and we say that as children. Don't take the right away from our children and the government. You should hang your heads in shame because of what you do, but you do it because you know you're feeding the elite with child abuse victims like us, and you don't care. Cyril Smith, everybody, you let them die without bringing them 1 ounce of the victim, 1 ounce of justice. So when it comes to the government, the paedophile bullshit of this earth on our country, yeah, we know why you're not standing in the House of Commons shouting from
Stand there. Keep going.
Keep going.
shouting from the roof to protect our children. We know why you're not doing that.
Stand there. I'll get the other one. Where's the other one?
Okay.
No, this is difficult for people like us to stand here and say what we've got to say. But you know something? What makes it even more powerful is that till the day I die, I will still stand and defend every single child in this country. No child should ever be abused. No child. And I want laws. I fought. We won our case. We won the biggest inquiry in Europe to protect every single child in this country, to get the laws changed where this isn't happening, because it's not fit. We don't want this in our society. And like I said, and Joseph, let me keep rapping on about it, every single child in this country should be protected. Every single child that walks past me should be able to live their life with their parents, peace and harmony, without being abused online.
I know, Trevor, I know.
Or groomed offline.
It's the only way to try and wake
And
up
this
the nation,
government,
to
what
tell
have you
them
ever
the
heard about
stories, to
what
show them
this
the
government
stories.
doing right now?
It's the only
to
way.
protect kids? Nothing.
There should be
not
hundreds
an
here
iota. Is it ever be?
To support these
What
men.
Sajid Javid, or whatever his name is, turned around and said not that long ago, a couple of months back,
They
that
do have
he's
a
discussed it
Facebook
with
page,
the grooming
Stephen.
gangs in this country that are raping our kids on the scale that every single person that's walking past here has got no idea of. And that's why they walk past, because they've got no idea of the abuse that's going on in every single town, city in this country. They're completely oblivious to what's going on. And these are the people that we need to get this message out to. I don't want the police knocking on anybody's door going, your daughter was raped last night, or your daughter is being groomed online, and you didn't know. Don't ever think that you're safe in your house just because your kids don't go out anywhere. That is not happening. It happens online, and it happens out in the street. And like I said, this needs to stop. It's not We live
Keep this
in a
going,
civilized
folks. Keep it
society.
going.
This should never ever, no child should ever ever be abused on the streets of England. End of story.
Absolutely.
And this government is absolutely diabolical because they haven't said, where's anybody ever read anywhere that the government are going to do this or they're going to do that to stop children from being abused? You never hear it. Is it in the news? No. Is it nothing? Sajid Javid said it the other night, or a couple of months back. I'm disgraced by my religion doing this. He said it himself, so I'll say it how he did.
I can't
But
remember
what is
off
he
the top
actually
of
gonna
my
do about
head,
it?
Kimberly, but I can
I
post it
guarantee you,
later.
in another year time,
Just type in
there'll
Joseph
still
and
nothing be done
Bobby
about it.
Blair, and you should be able to
And
find
we
their
all need-
page.
And I want this. I want everybody to unite together. I want everybody. This is what needs to happen. People like me coming on the streets and saying it how it is. And I want more and more people to support what we're actually trying to do here. Because unless we get that support, the government ain't going to give two hoots. Because that's what the government's
No,
like.
they're not innocent at all, Richie.
You know, it's,
Not innocent
I want
at all.
everybody to share
How the
this
hell
online.
did Jimmy
Like,
Savile
me and Joe
get
will do
keys
this
to
every- I will be
hospitals,
standing here
keys
every
to
month if I
mortuaries?
have to, and
Who
saying
was he
that
in a
is,
lot of pictures with,
I
eh?
signed a legal binding document witnessed by a solicitor and a barrister because I wanted to tell our story because I want everybody in the world to know what we went through. Because no child should ever have to suffer what we went through. And I will shout it from the rooftops, here, there and everywhere. Because that's exactly how it is. I want this British government to put laws in place to protect every single child in care and online. And that's all that we're asking for. It has to be done. Oh. Right, Joe.
Our kids should not be silenced. Our kids should not be sacrificed. Hands off our kids.
should not be
Establishment. Hands off our kids.
Look at these signs, everyone.
Right? Our kids in this country or any other country should never be abused. Right? Our kids
Should not
shouldn't
be
be
betrayed.
sentenced whenever it comes to talking about this. We talk. I want to be the voice of the children that I know in my heart. They can't talk about it. They're scared to talk about it. They can't open their hearts because of the pain that they suffer. I know that because I've experienced it. Me and Bobby and all the other victims have. Yeah? I will be their voice. Me and Bobby and other people will be their voice. We will make sure that their voice is heard loud and clear. If the government aren't going to listen, which they're not, the establishment aren't going to listen because they're not, right? Because we live in a corrupt society. Police aren't going to tell the truth. As soon as abuse is mentioned, who's the first responders? It happens to be the police. But the police will turn around and say, I never signed up for mental health. I never signed up for this. But they still got to deal with it. That's what the police get paid for. Yeah, turn round. Whenever they're sworn into the police, they've got to have, what is it, partiality? Whenever you're raped and abused as a child, do we turn round and say, oh, we're impartial? No, we have to live with it. The government in this country, they're not screaming out in the House of Parliament and the Houses of Lords how we can protect our children better.
They don't do that. They never done it. In our case, when we won the biggest case in Europe, what did they say? Oh, we'll give you an apology. I turned round, the same as the 135 victims.
We want
said,
them all gone,
you can
don't
stick
we,
that
Anne?
apology
The whole
with
lot of
some
them
on
gone.
chain. We will build a memorial and put it right outside Houses of Parliament in Ireland. Yeah? Us, every victim said, we don't want a memorial.
Please guys, it takes 1 minute to read.
We won our case 2 years ago, nearly 2 years ago. 60 victims have died. Nobody, the government, didn't even set up a redress board to compensate us. Nothing. We're still waiting because the Irish government can sit there. They're getting rich for doing nothing. The victims haven't even had 1 penny. I turned round, Bobby turned round, all us victims turned round and says, why are they getting paid for doing nothing? Take their wages off them and pay the victims.
Absolutely.
That's what should be happening.
Absolutely.
But it isn't. So you're getting paid, Irish government are getting paid for sitting on their arses for doing nothing. Same as the English government, sat here. They're not doing nothing. The inquiry over here, 100 million quid out of taxpayers' money. Are you going to hear? I guarantee, right? In Belfast, where I lived, where me and Bobby lived, yeah, where we were abused in as children, the whole state was found guilty.
Thank you, Nikki.
I'm stood here now. People have got
We
their
can get
own
justice.
phones,
We can get
everything.
justice for all.
But I bet
to
you
stop this happening
any
on our
money,
streets.
and I could put £1 million on it right now. See, when it comes to the government inquiry here in England, right? I bet you any money the state won't be found guilty of child abuse. 100%. And I want people to look back whenever it comes out and say, Joe,
Keep
you
sharing
were right.
people for the British public
Because over here,
to see,
there's
please.
too much
Because
cover-up.
Facebook
The government
are
can do
holding back
whatever
on
they
the
want,
shares, holding
say
back on
whatever
the
they
amount of
want.
people who
They
see
rule
this.
us. But if you want to, I'm just saying to the people here right now, if you want to vote for people, 160 MPs that are on
I know,
a
Teresa.
sex
I know.
register, then you vote for them.
They're all complicit in
They're
it,
gonna turn
including
round and
social
sell you everything.
services, including.
To make you vote them, but they're on a sex register, right? We are the victims.
Thank you,
We
Stephen.
look at them
Thank you,
and
Debbie.
say, what are you
There's
doing?
James holding the
Where are
ball.
you going with this? Our
Our
kids,
kids should
Or
not
our
be
life.
betrayed. Hands
our
off
children
our
deserve a
kids.
future. Our children deserve to be brought up in a society. Go to the parks. Go and play with your friends. Do whatever you want in a safe, loving society where pedos don't even exist. They've got no right to walk the roads that we walk. They've got no right to do nothing. And this is what we want to try and eradicate. If you're a pedo and you touch one child, you should be left off in prison. Children are the innocents, like we were. We were the innocent children. I never thought for 1 minute, neither did Bobby and neither did any other victim, think as children that we were going to be raped and abused. Never ever thought of it.
Look
We
at
were
this
too
banner.
interested
And how
playing
can
in
anyone
the
walk
parks
past this
and doing our
banner
own thing.
and not stop?
But we got raped and abused, like other thousands of children all over this country, all over Ireland. Have all been
How can
abused.
people not stop?
People sit in their bubble
Well, everyone who's walked past, none have
My
stopped.
children are okay.
None have
No,
stopped.
they're not. I guarantee they're not. The police just put out a statement yesterday. There's 80,000 groomers in England.
I don't believe
80,000.
Savage Javid as far as I
If
can
you look
throw
at that
him.
80,000, if they
all
raped
talk,
and
it's
abused
fake.
one child a day, yeah, that's the true statistics. If they raped and abused one child a day, right,
It's all right,
do
Dean.
the maths.
I don't care.
Calculate it up yourself.
They assist
How
in
many
it.
children
Complicit in
are
it.
going to be raped and abused in this country? Even though I'm talking to you right now, children are being groomed, children are being raped right as I speak. And I feel sorry for that. But the government are doing nothing to protect our children. They're doing nothing to protect nobody. We've got our armed forces living on the streets. We've got, me and Paul, we've got PTSD. All the vets have got PTSD.
You got him
Vets are
online.
killing themselves
Watch it.
because of PTSD. But the very people, the backbone of this country that are fighting in Afghanistan, Iraq, all over the world, coming back to this country, missing limbs, missing legs, missing everything. And the government are shitting all over them. We've got our children, mothers and fathers who are working, having to go to a food bank to feed their children week after week. What does that say about the government? Does that give us trust in the government? No, it doesn't. The government get richer because they're all, wankers. They serve no purpose and they should be outed. I want people in government with passion, that love and want to do good by their communities. They don't want children being raped and abused. This is what this is all about. It's about getting our country back. It's about getting the standards back in this country to make GB Great Britain once again. Not with all the shit that's going on now. Our government are selling us out, and it's about time people woke up and started looking at the truth. We're the truth tellers. We will sit there. Me.
Stand here.
These guys, if you've got children, please take 1 minute.
Me, Bobby, James, Tracy Blackwell, Tommy Robson. Yeah, we're the truth tellers. We're the ones that's not going to sit and be suppressed. We will tell the public the truth. We will make the truth be known to this nation. This nation is waking up, and honest to God, yeah, we will overturn the government. We will overturn everything. If the government are not going to listen, don't vote them. This is what needs to be done now.
I can't even keep track of what day it is.
And we will do it. Tracy, talk, darling. Come
What
on.
can I say?
Go on, Tracy.
Come on.
Oh, great.
Tracy.
I can't. Trace. Trace.
Tracy,
Smash it. Picture him.
you're like us, love. Say it as it is.
Board, please, the one that says murdered on it. One has it. Who's got the murdered one?
Got betrayed.
Is it that one? I saw one. Ah, John, can I borrow that a sec, please?
You alright? Trace.
So not only should our children not be raped and abused, they shouldn't be murdered either. And how any of you can walk past and see a banner like that or boards like this is beyond me. Or is it a case that you just want to wait for it to happen to yours? You have people like us
coming out, and each time a victim speaks about their story, it hurts. They have to relive those moments. Me, Harry's parents and George's parents live still on the moment of the 26th of January 2018. And we will continue to live in that moment till we get justice for our boys. And the same as Joseph and Bonnie Blair and all the rest of the victims. Every time they tell their story, they're living in that moment. They're feeling that original pain of when they was a child. And they come out to tell you to safeguard your children. That's why we do what we do, because once you know, and you can't stop. Because you want the whole country to stand up. Don't walk on by. Stand and listen. This is about your children. They've took mine, they've abused them, and they're telling you their story for your children. It's shameful. There should be hundreds and thousands of people here today for Joseph and Bobby supporting them. You know, I'm a believer. We do demonstrations and we come out. And thank goodness, I know you're here, but for the DFLA, thank goodness for those lads and what they do. I can't thank them enough. Because we need the DFLA. We need them. It's as simple as that. They can get the numbers out there, they can get the people out there. And honestly, I can just say, and people don't realise it, the ones who don't know, the people we're trying to wake up, do not realise how great those lads are. Oh, and I have nothing but respect and admiration for them. So thank you. Thank you. I'm just sick and tired of the mainstream media report you. I've seen it with my own eyes, as you know. I saw the setup a few weekends ago. Disgraceful isn't the word. We just don't want Theresa May out. We need the whole establishment out. They're all complicit in the paedophilia that goes on. The same with the murders. It's not just our children. Cars, vans and buses have been mounting pavements since 2010 in this country. We know it's not just ours. I implore anyone that has had a family member killed by a car that's mounted a pavement to look into that case. I implore you. I found a story only a couple of days ago.
True inspiration.
Now in that story I researched the articles because there's a campaign online to raise money for a CPS review of this 33-year-old lady who had 2 children.
Yeah, you're right, Cara.
Who was killed. Now I researched those articles after reading the campaign for it. And there was nowhere in the mainstream media article that stated this car mounted the pavement. But in the family's campaign for the CPS review, you can see that this car mounted a pavement. So how many really are there? Because you can research car mount pavement on Google, but then there's stories where they're not telling you that the cars are mounting the pavements. And that's why we're out here. I can't tell you how difficult it is to do what we do. But to think that they can do what they want to us is why we're out here, to show that they can't do what they want to us. And we're not going to allow them to do what they want to us. We will never surrender. We will never give up. I don't fear them. And one thing that many people, and you don't really hear people say over a microphone, but I'm going to say it now because I don't fear any of them. This isn't just the establishment, it goes higher than that where paedophilia is concerned, doesn't it? Because it goes to the royals and all. And I ain't afraid to say that it goes as high as that, because it does. I've seen the paperwork, I know what I'm talking about, and I wouldn't say anything that isn't a fact, that's for sure. Now, just to say, to end this, because I didn't expect to be coming up, so thank you, Joseph, I appreciate it. just to say that 8 days ago I was outside City Hall, outside our very own Nottingham Mayor, Sadiq Khan. And I gave him and the police 14 days to deliver the paperwork for our children that we still haven't got, that they still keep trying to put off, that they're trying to charge us nearly £4,000 for. I've been told it's one of the highest prices they've ever seen, because they think the working class, that's why we raise these funds, because they think they can do what they want to us because people haven't got the funds to pay for these things, and that's what it's all about. That's why the mainstream media can write any story in any newspaper they like about us, because they know we don't have the money to sue every time. That's why they do it. So I gave them 14 days to turn up with our paperwork for our children, and if they do not, I will be naming and shaming the lot of them, including the corrupt judge, including the corrupt QC at the Old Bailey, including every police constable that was involved and lied to our faces in our children's case. That now has dropped down to 6 days. You have 6 days left, because you watch these. Facebook is complicit in it. You know, they stop your feeds, they stop your comments and everything else. But you've now got 6 days. And if you don't, on the 7th day, I will do a live feed and I will name every one of you, because you ain't getting away what you've done to our children or the rest of the children that you've done in this country. Because we have had enough, and the working class are fighting back, and they're not going anywhere. It's our country and we're taking it back.
That was absolutely amazing, as always. John Andown, love. Come here.
I want to remind everybody,
They don't want me
this
to.
here, right? We are the mainstream media, because we've got no faith in the media. They report bullshit. We tell the truth. Fuck the media. Fuck the government. And fuck the fucking police as well.
You've been watching one.
That's all right, come on James, come and say a couple of things, come on. You've always got stuff to say, so you can do it here for us today.
What do you want me
Come
to
on.
say?
Tommy! Go on, mate! We all support Tommy Robson, because guess what? He tells the truth, says it as it is, yeah? Tommy Robinson! Oh, hang on a wee minute. Just want to say something here. I've just been stood out there for about 5 minutes with these placards that
Sorry,
you can see
everyone.
behind me. And you've got mothers and fathers just walk straight past me, and they're putting their arms around the kids
We do need a people's
and turning the
vote.
kids away from the
Power
banners.
to the people.
And you're thinking, no, where are you? Are you for real? Are you for real? You know, these are the, this is what's wrong with this country. This is what's wrong with this
They're
country.
clueless.
You've got people walking past, completely oblivious.
Leicester Watford.
Mothers coming past here with kids, and they're turning the kids away from what's going on here. And it sickens me. It absolutely sickens me. Because you're thinking,
Nice seeing you, man.
are you for real? Are you people for real? We're here to protect and try and protect every single child in this country. And you've got mothers and fathers walking past here with kids, and they're turning their kids away from what's going on here. It's disgusting.
James,
Yeah, it's going back to my mum.
Listen, if all you people want to walk past thinking that your children and your children's children aren't going to be abused, then carry on walking past.
See,
We're
babe,
trying to open
they've mugged me into
every
going to watch
mother-
Birmingham
mother's
City.
eyes up to what's going on in this country. Children being abused online and in the homes and towns in this city. It's disgusting, and all we want to do is get it stopped. All we want to do is get it stopped. Children being abused. What, you won't pick a leaflet up, mate? Really? I don't think so. You disgrace me. Carry on walking. I won't even. What the? Do you know what I mean? This is the bit that annoys me.
Yeah, I
and annoys
understand.
me to the core. You've got mothers and fathers walking past here, totally oblivious to what's going on.
Well done.
Won't pick a leaflet up. Don't want to know. Just walk on because you carry on with your lives thinking that nothing's going to happen to your kid. I really, really hope and pray that nothing does happen to your kids. This is about children. Children. It's children being abused. This is what this is about. And you've got mums and dads walking round here, wouldn't even stop for 1 minute. It's about time people started realising what's going on in this country. I hope and pray that every person that comes past never ever has to suffer what we had to suffer. So carry on walking past if you want to do that.
No, we're going and give them some shit. We'll wrap it up in a minute and then we'll go get.
Right.
We've been sitting here, sorry, stood here. It's in the rain, it's cold.
But I just want to thank anybody that's watching this video, because the public ain't, because I don't give two shits. But anybody that's got this online, I want to thank everybody that supports me and Bobby, Tracy, James, Tommy, Jono, Big John, right? Everybody that supports all us, the truth tellers, right? Thank you. Thank you for everybody being here. Keep supporting us, and we will win.
Yes, we will.
Overturn everything. We will make the government overturn. That's all our aim is. And we'll get the truth told one day. Through Tommy and through everybody, we will get the truth out there. So thank you. Bye.
Well done, both of you, fantastic. You're so brave.
I just want to
I
paint
know,
and
I know.
No problem. Thank you so much.
It's in Birmingham, Steve.